All right, hey guys, welcome back to the DFS Bros. This is Nick and Kirk again. Last week we started off a new little series that we're going to be continuing on here. It was kind of a head-to-head we're going to be doing. As you can see, I beat Kirk by 65 points. After he said that he was going to beat me by 30, even though I doubled that on him. If you take out Tyler Lockett, I still would have beat you, Kirk. How does that make you feel?
Rough, considering that my main cash lineup did 240. To see this lineup drop 129. But yeah, we got a lot of news after we re-record pretty early. We got a lot of news afterwards on especially Devontae Adams, Jamal Williams. But I'm excited about this week.
Yeah, if I could go back and change anything, I think I'd take out Tim Patrick and replace him with Jamal Williams, and then take out Justin Jackson and replace him with Antonio Gibson, and I would have beat you by 100 points instead of 60. But I'm not going to rub it in again anymore, as next week Kirk could be rubbing it in on me. But thank you for your $5 you have given me this week. With that being said, since Kirk lost, he gets to pick where he picks first or defers it to me. So Kirk, what you doing, buddy?
So I know Nick likes a lot of Tennessee people. So do I. So I'm going to let him go ahead and pick the first one off the board so I can kind of counteract my double picks after.
All right. Well, since that's the case, I'm just going to go ahead and lock in Kareem Hunt.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
So, Kirk, tell me where you're going.
All right. So I'm going to go a little bit cheaper on the running back. I'm going to go Jacobs. All right. And then I'm going to turn around and get Keenan Allen.
It's not bad. Good picks. Good picks.
Yeah, Keenan Allen dropped 25 last week. Had 10 receptions over 100 yards. Didn't score. Had plenty of opportunities. And his price tag did not go up.
Yeah, that's insane. All right. So for my pick right now, I will admit last week I took my chances on a lot of these lower-owned guys, and my higher-priced guys did, in fact, blow up. I don't know if I feel as confident in that this week, but I think there's another guy that I like a lot, especially in the games that we are trying to stack, that I think is going to do well. As Kirk mentioned, I like the Tennessee guys this week, so I'm going to go ahead and get A.J. Brown in there, as he's the wide receiver that I picked for our video. And hopefully Kirk doesn't snatch Ryan Tannehill from me. So, Kirk, where are you going?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a defense, only because there's only one defense I really like this week at a low price.
I consider taking them too, but I talked myself out of it.
Yeah. Go ahead and lock in Dolphins defense. I see nothing I like under like 3,500. So having a defense in class, well, not exactly 3,500, but in the 2Ks.
I don't know. I feel as you guys will see in our picks video, I like the Bills defense this week some. Cam's prone to a lot of
turnovers,
mistakes, turnovers, things like that. And he's already missing a lot of his big weapons. So back to me. Kirk has a running back, wide receiver, and a defense. I have a running back and a receiver. I feel confident Kirk won't take my quarterback. So I'm going to go ahead and get another wide receiver. Someone else from this game, the Tennessee-Cincinnati game, that I'm going to run it back with. And this is a player that Joe Burrow has proven to like a lot and proven he can be trusted. And so I'm paying up for Tyler Boyd this week. Joe Burrow trusts him a lot. It's very obvious with that, as he's been putting up some fantastic numbers so far to start the season. So, yeah, I'm picking Tyler Boyd for my third pick.
Yeah. Tyler Boyd's definitely showing that, especially with that volume, that he's a top 10 receiver as far as fantasy-wise. It's just hard to pay top 10 receiver price tag. It just feels weird. But, yeah, great matchup, shootout. It checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to keep this trend of just knocking out my cheap people. I'm going to go Jonnu Smith. He's a guy who can get yards after the catch. He's had 2 down weeks. This is a Cincinnati defense that has been awful to tight ends. I've kind of targeted them the last 2 weeks, and it's paid off hugely. I had pretty much 100% Harrison Bryant last week, and the week before I had about 80% Trey Burton. So for people that forgot that those were the last 2 matchups, and plus the starters for those teams, Doyle scored like 10 that week, and Njoku scored 10 or 11 last week too. So they've allowed like 30 points every week to the tight end.
So since the tight end 2 on the team, it seems to be
not Ferkser. Not Ferkser.
Not Ferkser?
No.
Jonas Smith is an athletic freak, so I don't blame you for picking him.
Yeah, I could easily see 17 from him and not be shocked.
Yeah. I feel like I have some room to spare. I mean, I know Kirk already picked his defense, but I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in the defense I like, because the average remaining salary, I like to look at it after I put in a defense. I'm going to go ahead and put the Packers defense in. As you guys will see in our Survivor Pool video, that I love the Green Bay Packers this week. Their defense is good. Kirk Cousins is another player that's prone to turnovers and mistakes, especially a lot. And early in the season, I don't know if the numbers are still the same, but I think it was 20% of the plays ended in a turnover or a sack, which is fantastic for defenses. And this Packers defense is pretty good. So, Kirk, where are you going?
All right, so I'm going to lock in one of the big guys now, kind of knock out a lot of my salary. It just feels bad when you don't have someone like Derrick Henry on your team. So that huge game total, a guy that could score 4 touchdowns or have 200 yards, it's insane. After saying that, he'll probably have 30 carries for 87 yards and no touchdowns, but who cares? He'll probably be – yeah. Yeah, the Cincinnati's allowing over 5 yards a carry. This guy has the most volume we've ever seen in a running back. I'll take it.
Speaking of running backs that are fantastic with volume, did you see what Bo Jackson said the other day, where he thinks he would average 300 to 400 yards if he was playing in today's NFL?
These old people think that I don't want to go off on a tangent, but think the league is softer, which it is because there's so many rules to try to help out. But people are so much more athletic. I mean, it's insane that you have people like Metcalf that are chasing down players like last week. That size, speed, strength, everything, it's insane. Ever since back when Sean Taylor was playing defense, you wouldn't want to run into that man.
So while you're talking, I went ahead and locked in Ryan Tannehill into my quarterback position. We both have a lot of Titans players, and I'm hoping he does not throw a touchdown to Derrick Henry. Because if he throws a touchdown to Derrick Henry, it's already a 50-yard touchdown, because he doesn't take the short ones, so he takes the long ones. So, Kirk, where are you going now?
All right. And a quick thing just to hit on, look at the weather this week. It's going to play a huge part. It's going to be mainly wind at a lot of places. So don't try to get the quarterbacks there, especially when you see 20 to 25 miles an hour. The ground game is going to be great. That's one reason why we do like the Cleveland running back Hunt, and then the Vegas running back Jacobs, just because it's going to be insane trying to pass, and it's going to be a high total game. So
yeah, Hurricane Zeta is making its way through the Midwest right now. Especially once it gets to Ohio, which is right on the Great Lakes, and Cleveland Stadium is right on one of the Great Lakes, where it's already pretty windy right there. It's going to be a tough matchup, especially for Baker Mayfield, who already can't throw the ball past 10 yards. And that's just like a reference for like the rest of the year. A lot of those teams are up there and near the Great Lakes, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, even Green Bay, even though they're a little bit further away. Those teams around that area on the Canadian American border, near those lakes, it's really, really windy and freezing towards the end of the season. And the run games during those games are the games we're going to probably pick on the most. And so I guess it's my pick, right?
No, it's back to me. I just had to kind of look to see.
Oh, you're good.
So I know that Nick's big believer in 3 running backs, so am I. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'd like to see if I can get Cook in there. I'm not really liking my lineup afterwards. So I'm
Wow.
gonna go with a guy that I've been big on pretty much since week 1. Jonathan Taylor, just a monster. We've picked on this Detroit team a lot, especially with running backs. Their defense is bad. It's an indoor game, so we don't have to worry about weather.
Yeah, I think
He's just a monster.
I think you're set up pretty well. I mean, you can get a 4,000 receiver or 5,000 receiver and still get a 6K quarterback, which I mean that's not bad. It's still setting yourself up pretty. Um, pretty. I feel like I'm stuck right now. I want to go running back.
So even though I could choose pretty much only wide receiver left, you're not gonna try to grab your last wide receiver. You gotta.
Yeah, you're right.
Nick's not good with math, people, so I'm trying to throw him off a little bit. So then he ends up in the situation like last week, struggling, asking for help, changing his lineup.
Beating you by 65 points?
Yeah.
I will take a shot on AJ Green.
That was my next pick. Should have kept my mouth shut.
Was it really?
Yeah.
AJ Green was your next pick?
Yeah, because he opened up everything I needed.
Yeah. It opened up a lot for me as well. So, I mean. All right, Kirk, where are you going?
Ooh, now it's time to struggle. So there's a couple of different ways I can go cheap. I could go all the way down to the bottom at Marcus Brown, $3,000. I really don't see how he could hurt you. He had most targets, most receptions, most yards. He's gone over 100 yards in like his last 2 over the last 5 or 6 games, and to be only 3,000 is a great price.
Who's this?
Marcus Johnson.
Oh, Colts guy.
Yeah. So
that definitely opens up a lot for you. Like you can practically go anywhere with your last 2 picks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna grab Johnson now, just so I do like him a lot. It's just what he can do to your lineup afterwards. And Phillip Rivers likes him. And whoever Phillip Rivers likes and trusts, he goes to. We can see the connection's not there like it was that we thought in the preseason or the training camps and everything with Hilton. So,
gosh, I wish we had made this deal in our main league before I just got this notification.
Oh, Gio.
Yeah. They just said Joe Mixon is out on Sunday. Gio Bernard is 6,000 this week instead of 4,000 from last week. That's a 2,000 price increase. But with the workload he's getting, I still think he should be able to pay off his salary. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in Gio Bernard. And Kirk, when we're done, just please call me and let me know what I can do for Gio Bernard in our league, since I have all but one running back on a bye week this week. So
yeah, Gio in PPR is going to be a great person. He's at home.
A shootout.
Yeah. And he gets looks around the goal line. He scored last week. He's a guy that just keeps getting points every drive. So you're not kind of stagnant sitting there at 4 points, just hoping for another catch.
Yeah.
A reason why I'm going to go with the quarterback I'm choosing now is because of the Mixon call. So Mixon's out. Burrow last week played amazing. He was dirt cheap. I had a few shares of him. I had him and Herbert in pretty much all my lineups. Gave me a huge edge on the field. But I don't see them having any rushing touchdowns unless it's from Burrow. So all the points they're going to score in their shootout should be from him, whether it's rushing or passing. So the amount of volume he's going to see this week is going to be 40-plus passes. So at 6,200, guy who's leading the league in pass attempts, I think he's on pace for like 55,000 5,500 yards.
5,000.
Yeah, 5,500 yards, just insane volume.
Yeah. Something in me is telling me to take a fourth Cincinnati player, but I can't do that. I already have 3 Cincinnati players on my team, 2 Titans players. I think I'm trying to go ahead and get another Titans player. I know Kirk has Johnny Smith, but I'm going to take the risk on Fursker, as he is almost dirt cheap, and it opens up a lot for me with my last flex pick. Because I get 6,600, can practically get almost anyone I want. Kirk can do the same. So Kirk, where are you going with your 7,300 left? You can practically get anyone that's up here aside from DK and Devontae.
Yeah, I don't like picking on Chicago. Chicago's defense is actually really good. They're sort of like what we see with the Colts, bend don't break. Chicago, Soldier Field, hard place to play at, not good for quarterbacks, not good for receivers. So I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna drop down to Thielen. I do think Thielen's gonna get a lot of targets, but I do not think that he'll be that productive this week. I think that'll be more of a Cook week, but just looking down.
Wait, you are going Thielen?
Yeah, I'm going Thielen. I just don't think Thomas is going to get there this week, and we all know that Lockett, after a big game, pretty much kind of slumps the next week.
That's true. That's very true. Looking at what I have left in real life, if this wasn't a head-to-head, I would just go ahead and lock in Josh Jacobs, but you already have him, so I can't do that.
Yeah, and if not, you'd probably go to Jonathan Taylor, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Oh.
I'm going to take a chance on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I feel like this is a boom-bust kind of play, as Lev Bell could get a lot of work against the Jets.
Revenge.
I think both Clyde and Lev could both get over 100 rushing yards and a touchdown this game. They opened up as 22.5-point favorites 2 weeks ago. The Lions dropped down to 19-point favorites, which is that's like almost like a college difference for lines. Like I said, I think Clyde and Lev can both succeed in this game. The Kansas City Chiefs are projected to get 34 points on top of the 19-point spread. So they are still projected to put up a lot of points in this game. So I think Clyde could do it as well. Kirk, we both have $100 left in our lineups. Before we end this one, is there any changes that you would want to make to your lineup? No? Okay. And I'm in the same boat. No changes to mine. We're good to go. Real quick before we end this, my lineup is Ryan Tannehill, Kareem Hunt, Gio Bernard, A.J. Brown, Tyler Boyd, A.J. Green, Fursker, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Packers defense. And I'll let Kirk read his lineup off to you guys.
We got Joe Burrow, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Keenan Allen, Marcus Johnson, Adam Thielen, Jonnu Smith, Jonathan Taylor, Dolphins defense. Feeling very confident. Just as confident last week.
Well, I mean, thank you for the $5 again, Kirk, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and click update entry on our contest against each other. Get mine in. Kirk, I will send you a picture so you don't forget to put it in. So I can beat you fair and square.
Yeah, no changes this week, Nick.
Well, as always, we can change if there's an injury, but I don't know if any of the players were going to.
Nah, I'm glad this week it looks like we got a lot of the injury news early.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a pretty safe week. Like I said, watch the weather. Attack the high totals like what Nick did. Just trying to get as much Cincy as he could in, as much Tennessee. It's a nice game stack. Lucky for me, if his guys score, my guy's the one who's doing it with Burrow.
Well, not just, I mean,
let's go T.
Higgins. Smith with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
But I think we both have good lineups. I think both of these lineups have the possibility to enter a GBP and win. But with that being said, check out our picks video, check out our Survivor Pool picks videos, and I hope you guys have a nice week, or yourselves even use these lineups in a contest and make some money with them. Hope you guys have a good one.